Welcome to Unit 3. In this unit, you will talk about global business trends and the economy, practice interpreting data, and look at our relationship with developing economies and the way we live. As more people travel and work in other countries, we think about how we adapt to other cultures and which experiences make us happiest. Think about your relationship with money. Have you ever regretted a financial decision? Are you a saver or a spender? Listen to some people answering these questions.
So long-term wise, I would say I'm a saver. I think it's really important to save, but I also think life is very fleeting and you never know what's going to happen. So if you want to do something, I don't think money should restrict you.
So definitely a saver. Yeah, definitely a saver. Because when I was young, in Hackney, as a family, we didn't have a lot of money. So I never had a lot of money to spend. And I think because of that, you get into the habit of, not spending money, but being careful with money. But now I've got older and I'm now retired, I'm spending money like water.
We save to spend.
Exactly, right now, yes, agreed.
I guess I'm more of a saver. I also would say I don't care that much because my passions are things that have very, very little to do with money. So I use it for whatever I need to be able to follow my passions, and that's the extent of in which I care about money.
I am definitely not a saver in any way, shape or form. I am a spender. I wouldn't say I'm an impulsive spender, but especially with the advent of contactless payments, I tend to just pay for things without thinking about it, and it's only when I get that balance text on a Friday that I realise how much damage I've done.
So my relationship with money is a funny one. So as a student, I have a stipend, so I'm also on a budget, quite a tight budget. So I don't really have an opportunity to save, but I wouldn't say I'm a spender either. So eventually one day I'll get a job and maybe it'll be a different situation, but I'd like to be a saver in the future.
I can't say I am a spender, or in between. I try to spend as I can and save as possible. Okay.
I'd say our generation, we're inclined to travel maybe a little bit more, and we have access to these great opportunities to travel for relatively cheaply. That's definitely a priority for us, and however, we personally try to be as efficient as possible while doing so. I mean, we're currently in London, a very expensive city. We are staying with some of my family, but trying to be as resourceful as possible when it comes to money.
I like having pretty things, and I'm not a good planner in any way. So they can be challenging. I'm not very grounded with reality when it comes to money. I don't plan a lot.
Oh, I'm a big spender. For sure. My mom keeps saying that my hand is like a sieve. Money never stays there. But again, my motto in life is, you live once, you're not going to take it with you. Enjoy yourself, because a minute is gone, you can never repeat it back again.
I spent most of my years as a student in China, so the government do care about the education. I think they spend a lot of money on elementary schools or junior schools, but I'm looking forward them to spend more money on more advanced education, like research or PhD student trainings.
I'm from Ireland, and the way the government spends money is a constant topic of discussion. But actually education is one of the places where I think the government spends money well. When I was at university, we had completely free education. That's changed slightly, but it's still relatively low because the government subsidises it. And I think that you can see the results. A lot of people go on to university that maybe in other countries wouldn't be able to, and I think that's really important.
I think it's much more important that the government is actually investing in families, and then families providing education, because I remember my parents read a lot to me, and I have a broad knowledge of things because of my parents, not because of my school education. So I think that's much more important, that we maybe spend some more money on parents, and then they have more free time to actually help their children to think critically about something, because state education is always difficult and different. I mean, in England it might be different, but in Turkey I think it's a really dangerous thing to send your children into schools that might not teach very critical things.
It's never enough. Government spending should be more on education and better spent.
There's not a lot of investment in education in Brazil, and when there is, it's often badly managed, I find. So they have lots and lots of works to do in that regard. Me being someone who is funded by the Brazilian government here in Oxford, I can often see that the way they make decisions, or the way they, I don't know, just plan how to fund you and some people, there are some big mistakes there that even an amateur like me can see.
Well, my wife was a teacher, and she would say there's never enough spent on education, but I think the government has a very difficult task to perform between health care, education, and taking care of infrastructure. But in our province, I think the government in the past has been negligent, but the new government that was elected a year and a half ago is becoming more careful in investing in education. So I give them credit for that.